So is this the block survey? Do you guys see the? I'm just going to walk you through an application. I think rather than slides, I think this would be the best way, sort of a real-time way to show the UI UX kind of aspect to it. So let me know. Seda, I just as a reference, like I want to know what you guys see because I'm not able to see what
So
is being shown at the screen.
we can see choose an account to use with block survey. That's what we see on the screen right now.
I see. Okay, got it. Perfect. All right. Do you guys see the Privica screen? 1 second, I'm having some issues here with screen share. 1 second. Share content again. Okay, there you go. I think you'll be able to see my screen again for the application.
Yes, okay. We can see Pravica now.
Wonderful. So, guys, Pravik, for those who don't know, is one of the apps that's there in the Blockstack ecosystem, and it clearly points to a new way of thinking about UI UX. And by UI UX, I mean something that's if you look at what is UI and UX, it's basically how the user experiences the application at the front end. And there is one fundamental principle in UI UX is, you should not make the user think about things that could be could be hidden or made seamless. Like if you guys know these days, any sort of application tries to hide any information that might confuse the user or might cause them to not use the app. So that's the basic fundamental principle of UI UX, and how it translates into this new era of Web 3.0 is an ongoing thing, and there's a lot of improvements, and I think Blockstack is one of the platforms which is in the best position to handle a seamless experience. So let me hopefully this demo goes without any disruption. I have my fingers crossed, but just to walk you through one of the applications. So if you see on the extreme right top corner of my screen, I have a Blockstack extension installed. I will include the link to that. So this is one of the web extensions to install prior to sort of logging into an application with a Blockstack ID. So there are information regarding how to get that ID, and how to configure it, and all that good stuff. But I'm just going to try to walk you through it. So the browser sort of recognizes my previous previous sort of account here. Like you'll see, I have a test account with, this is my secret key. Secret key basically. So it's so that's what primarily makes Web 2.0 and 3.0 applications different. Is you have something called a secret key for login, and this is much more secure way to log into applications. With Blockstack ID, the process becomes more seamless and easier. And think of it as like a web authenticator in Web 2.0 applications. So it's a parallel to that in the crypto world, and is much more secure. The downside to this is if you lose your keys, then the recovery can become cumbersome or almost impossible. So, okay, so let me just first walk you through this. So continue with my Blockstack app. And this is a wonderful sort of interface that prompts the user, tells them about, actually, this is a new update prior to the, when I was in Blockstack before this update was not there, but this is wonderful how it kind of walks the user through like, hey, so what is the action you're undertaking? Like get your secret key, install it, extension, even tells you how it works. So I think we should keep these principles in mind since it's a new technology to most of the users. Developers should keep this in mind that they should sort of guide the user almost every step of the way. And just to give you a quick background, I come from a development background. I did a lot of JavaScript front end stuff, and over time I moved to UX and a product as a com- complete like a holistic view on an application because I realized whatever I'm building as an engineer, my users might not get it. So we always have to keep a user in the mind and uh, just have them walk through and handhold them through the whole process is a good uh, starting point. Okay, so you have all this informational stuff that a user needs to know, and then it's get your secret keys akin to getting sort of like a sort of generated login credential sort of a thing. So let's click on that, and please ask or stop me anyways, Sida, if something is not clear or I'm going too fast.
No,
Uh,
no. You're
yeah.
going just fine. Please go ahead.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So let's go to that. And then it already picks up, hey, choose my account sort of a way. So there are like, so if you see here, this is my secret key that's generated. It's already keeping track. Ideally, you want to keep it on a piece of paper or keep it securely somewhere. I'm just flashing it to everybody because it's just a demo. So then once you have that, let's see. Issue last time I logged in. Okay, so looks like yes, I'm in the test mode. And let's see, get your secret key, choose your account. Okay. All right, let me share my screen because I already have a screen shared for the next step. Let's see if I can still having some. Okay. Sorry guys, I just wanna do another screen share really quick, if you don't mind.
No, please go ahead.
Okay, I think you guys can see, and it's a different app, which is the block survey app, which Wilson just talked about a while ago. It was a wonderful talk. So, okay, if you guys can see my screen, which I think you guys can. So this, I'm trying to log in into the block survey app. So it's same way it checks my account and say, okay, this is your account. And then you log in, and then there is a prompt which says continue. You can have multiple accounts with this, so that's why it gives you option 1 or 2. So currently I have just one account attached to while logging to this with this Blockstack ID. So I do continue app. So let's wait for it to go through. Fingers crossed. Live demos are tricky, so let's see. Okay, it's probably my network issue here, but maybe let me go to another string. I hate to switch screens here, but in case if it doesn't go through, then I might have to just share the final sort of login. Yeah, okay. Shouldn't take that much time, but let's see. By the way, there is a wonderful documentation on everything regarding how the login process works on Blockstack. The one documentation is just simply wonderful for everybody to follow. Usually developers, they love to see documentation, and it's wonderfully written there. So it's a perfect sort of um, once you read the documentation, it's easy to understand the whole flow. Okay, I think I might have to do a screen share of, because yeah, I'm having issues. Anyways, let's see. Okay, so this is one of another application that I've been testing, which is boom.money. It's already logged in, so for you guys to see, once the login process goes through for those applications, the user sort of lands into this application. This is very kind of specific use case for applications which will be built on Web 3.0. This is think of it as NFTs are a big rage right now. I don't know how many people in the audience are aware of what an NFT is. It's basically making your images, um, you know, so if you have like an image or a painting or anything piece of digital art, you can put it on a blockchain, and then users can purchase it from you, and they will know that you are the one who created the artwork. So this is, once you log in, you have, you show the total dollar amount of how much is there on your Stacks account. It converts it into a dollar account, and then you'll see a Stacks amount. You will see the kind of digital art you have uploaded already, and then there's a button for creating create. A new NFT, and you can basically, what they call in the field as, minting out a new sort of new image. And then it shows you all the transactions. So this is another nuance of blockchain, is that users like to know. So this is on the blockchain. This goes directly to Blockstack, like what was the ID, where was the what was the ID of the thing that was created on the blockchain. So there's a transaction ID, and it just gives you more information about what has been uploaded. So this will depend upon application to application, but the login process is sort of universal, right? Like web authentication is sort of universal in the traditional apps. So the parallel to the web 3.0 is pretty obvious. There are slight nuances to how the key is generated and how you make the user manage the keys. Like if you see here, I think there was you'll see an option of saving your secret keys, and then that way you can make it easier for the user. So the entire idea right now is uh, making it seamless. There are some challenges in this, that certain things have to be done in a more secure way. So it's security trade-off, sorry, versus how the user experience is. So there are few things, nuances to that. Um, Honestly, people coming from the traditional web, the way I thought about it is, yeah, there are some new primitives in blockchain technology that if you read about it, it helps out to develop have an overall thinking about the product. But in the end, the main thing you got to keep in mind is that the users of your application, how do you empathize with them? How they will, as a user, walk through the process. If it is possible during the early development of your application, have some people test out your application and see what they understand, what they don't understand. That way you can get a quick feedback early on and move your application in that direction, which is more easier for a user to sort of get the right get first on the first go, rather than figuring out, "Oh, what is this," and how do I log in and those sorts of things. So that's my quick feedback. I'm super excited about this hackathon. It's a wonderful way to get all the developers, all the creators in Pakistan excited about this, and I'm here to help out on every step of the way, get my feedback on any sort of UX, which developers, who are developing will keep in mind, and I'm happy to test their apps out as well. So I think I'll keep my presentation short since it's I'm having some issues here, but I think